China tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile in August that circled the globe before speeding towards its target, demonstrating an advanced space capability that caught U.S. intelligence by surprise.
Here's a summary of the article.
China tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile in August that circled the globe before speeding towards its target, demonstrating an advanced space capability that caught U.S. intelligence by surprise. Tu said the test showed that China had made astounding progress on hypersonic weapons and was far more advanced than U.S. officials realized. The U.S., Russia and China are all developing hypersonic weapons, including glide vehicles that are launched into space on a rocket but orbit the Earth under their own momentum. Taylor Fravel, an expert on Chinese nuclear weapons policy who was unaware of the test, said a hypersonic glide vehicle armed with a nuclear warhead could help China negate U.S. missile defense systems which are designed to destroy incoming ballistic missiles. In August, General Glenn Van Herk, head of North American Aerospace Defense Command, told a conference that China had recently demonstrated very advanced hypersonic glide vehicle capabilities. China generally announces the launch of Long March rockets, the type used to launch the hypersonic glide vehicle into orbit, but it conspicuously concealed the August launch. CAAA is a research institute under China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, the main state-owned firm that makes missile systems and rockets for China's space program.
This post received a score of 37,000, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Where did it pass over?
All the replies to your question are why I like getting my world news from r_anime_titties. Yes, I'm serious. It's a world news sub that keeps the jokes to a minimum.
Man, you weren't lying.
This site never ceases to surprise me. Wow.
It was born a few years ago from when our world politics had an influx of posts that weren't related, and the only mods on this entire site with balls doubled down and said, we weren't lying. You can post whatever you want unrelated to politics here. People post anime titties there. Anime titties gets politics.
Fuck, that was a few years ago already?
Time is but an illusion.
The big news is that it's a fractional orbital bombardment system, FOBS. It is a system that gets around missile defense systems by going into low Earth orbit and can strike the U.S. from non-monitored directions like South Pole. Concept was pioneered by the Soviets in the 60s, and they had about a dozen of these things before giving them up with a treaty that saw the U.S. give up missile defense in term. It is not surprising that the rediscovered passion of the U.S. for anti-ballistic missile shield systems is seeing adversaries developing things like these to counter. The whole arms control system has been going to heck ever since GW pulled out of the ABMS treaty.
The other thing for context is the USA's nuclear development is bound by the famous SALT and START treaties with the Russians. But China is not a signatory on those arms control treaties.
Please, all that is holy. Why don't more people realize that this is a serious problem and should be the real talking point? Thank you for bringing this up.
It's less serious because this is PRC developing capabilities to maintain MAD. US, who has 20x more nukes than PRC, is eroding PRC minimum deterrence doctrine by building missile defense. Politically, PRC won't discuss arms control unless US willing to discuss missile defense, which US can't due to domestic politics. So to re-establish MAD balance, PRC has to build more nukes and fractional orbital bombardment capability to circumvent US missile defense. Pour $100s of billions on missile defense and PRC has to respond in kind.
Greater than its attempt to rebalance is that what they call the Cold War these days.
Cold War never stopped.
Cold War never stops.
Cold War never changes.
Unlike my chocolate gelato, the Cold War never thawed.
Man. Imagine if the world would actually cooperate towards making everyone's life better instead of making weapons to defend ourselves from each other's.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.